Okay, so yes, usually I don't go to see two movies in one weekend, but I decided to go see The Mummy. Yesterday I saw Pirates of the Caribbean 5, and now I've seen The Mummy remake, and yeah, it kind of sucks. But I expected it to. It was getting 17% on Rotten Tomatoes, and really I have very little to say about it. The previews were misleading in that they made it look like it was going to be Suicide Squad because the makeup was similar enough. It was a witchy chick. She was sending a storm through the city and all that stuff. Yeah, spoiler alert that although the storm thing happens, it doesn't happen quite that way. I would say if it's more of a ripoff of X-Men Apocalypse, which sort of had the same idea as the other one, and also the possession thing as well as the other one, like Suicide Squad. And also the same idea as X-Men Apocalypse. It was basically an Egyptian god pharaoh is revived to possess a guy that's the main character, or wants to, and the only way out is some sort of weird sacrificial ritual at the end, identical to X-Men Apocalypse. In that sense, except that Professor X in that one did not sacrifice himself directly. It was more like Dark Phoenix showed up and helped him. A little different, but it's like, yeah, and Tom Cruise at 55 roughly is even if he's still well built, is too old. He should just stop doing action movies. Uh, Russell Crowe was in it too as Jekyll and Hyde. Uh, yes, many critics were objecting to this dark universe. Universal is going to try to do the Universal Monsters thing. Uh, Kevin Smith and his cadre over there at their review site was, oh, this is a good idea. And they were trying to fawn all over it a little bit, but the other guy was like, I don't know if that's going to work because, well, for one thing, Marvel's cinematic universe works because it's based on a long-standing comic book series, a multiverse of different timelines, origins, and things. Plenty of stuff to choose from. DC, same way. Plenty of stuff to choose from going in that direction and everything. The Universal monsters, like the Mummy and all that, and the Invisible Man and Frankenstein and King Kong and that kind of thing. No, it doesn't really work. The King Kong kind of works, but yeah, making the Mummy Imhotep and having it be basically Tom Cruise going to Mesopotamia and finding Imhotep and then the airplane scene, action set piece after action set piece happening. First they find this corpse and they raise it from this tomb thing that somehow blew up the opening to the tomb but didn't blow up the tomb, and the airstrike blows up the tomb. They go down there, they find the body. There's a joke about Tom Cruise not being able to satisfy the woman archaeologist. Other stuff like that. It's just not particularly interesting. And using Jekyll and Hyde is sort of their version of. I would say he's less like the Agents of Shield leader and more like Doctor Strange, which is really odd. Uh, Maybe a little bit of Bruce Banner from the Hulk too. Russell Crowe is more convincing as a badass than Tom Cruise in the movie, but he didn't really act that way. Yeah, it. Yeah, 1.5 stars. I mean, you can watch it or not. And some critics were saying, well, the Brendan Fraser one is better, even though that's kind of bad too. Yeah, the Brendan Fraser one is better. I think part of the problem with Universal Monsters is that making it a PG-13 movie, it's not going to work. It's not. It's just not going to work. There's zombies in it, and she wants to take him over and stuff. There's some spoilers in this review, but really, it's kind of like X-Men Apocalypse. If you've seen that, you've seen this. It's kind of like Ghostbusters. You've seen that, you've seen this. Yeah, and what is it with these like later day movies from 2016, 2017 being about the bad guy? And same thing in Suicide Squad. Same problem, really. There was a witch in that one. The premise of the good guys causing the events to happen later on. It's a major coincidence. And then having to get out of what the mess they started is just kind of like, well, you have no movie if the heroes just decided, hey, let's not do this. Let's not open the tomb or whatever. That would be a good idea. Yeah, kind of the same thing with Alien Covenant. The whole movie is dependent on the major coincidence. They keep mentioning the mercury that's used to stop the bad guys, supposedly, and I don't know how, other than driving you crazy, because you're not supposed to have mercury. It's poisonous. And the audience was fairly packed, but not enjoying it. They all left during the credits. The trailers were very uninteresting. Baby Driver was again a trailer. It's the one where the guy has a rhythm in his ear and that makes him a good driver. It's like, no, it wouldn't. Your whole premise of your movie is stupid. And it would make him a terrible driver because he'd be like, you're ringing in my ear. Yeah, no, it's stupid. And isn't only called that because that's a clever title. Yawn. It's not really that clever. But yeah, there was some other spy movie. Oh, there was Atomic Blonde as well, which looks like fun, but unless she's called the Enola Gay the Atomic Bombshell, then she's not ripping off one of my short stories. It's a different character, though. So, and in the Cow Cat version of that idea, she basically, in her final act, blows up, taking out the entire auditorium with her, and the good guys, and the bad guys. This is part of her final act. She's like, I've got a nuclear weapon, gablooey, and she takes herself out. All of the rip-off of the end of the stand, in which the bad guy ran to Randall Flagg. Same idea. Probably where I ripped it off from. So, yeah, the Mummy. It's not scary. Witch chick. Her makeup kept changing too, and her entire motivation in the movie is to get a dagger that has immortality, and to get the sapphire, the ruby, stick it to the dagger, give her immortality, and use Tom Cruise, who she awakens from the dead during a plane crash somehow. Not explained. It's in the trailer. And use him as a vessel to have immortality, thus making him powerful enough to fight her. Like, why would the bad guy do that? Like, it would be akin to saying, I'm going to make this badass secret agent guy and I'm going to train him. Of course he's going to betray me later, but I'm going to train him anyway. Like this, one of the previews was for this American Assassin was one of them. It's like, why would the hero do that? Why would the villain do that? It's just bad story writing. Well, this movie is Alex Kurtzman wrote and directed it with the help from Bob Orkey. So yeah, it wasn't going to be good. It's not nearly as bad as Stone Gremlins thinks it is. It's as bad as Angry Joe Rants thinks it is. So, yeah. So it's like, Okay, lots of things. Sand, Egypt comes in and whatever. Nothing's really explained. They just show monsters and ghouls and ghoulish houses and zombies and things, but nothing's explained. Even in the Marvel movies, they kind of explain their mythos and why things are happening. Even Doctor Strange was like, okay, well, I got to go from point A to point B to train as a martial arts magician guy, and I got to go over here and then stop this other thing. It kind of makes sense. Whereas the DC movies kind of don't, and Universal's taking off the DC movies a little bit. More so than the Marvel ones, the Dark Universe. No, it's not going to work, because even though there have been comic books of the Martian, the Mummy, the Invisible Man, and all that, not as big a universe, not as interesting a universe. The Blob is going to be a superhero. It's like, what? King Kong is going to have a cape. What? That's pretty much it. I've got nothing really more on that picture. It's just not good. Just it's alright. Yeah. So, but it was a waste of $8. So whatever. The Brandon Fraser ones I wasn't that impressed with, but I would rather watch them than watch this again. Even the Scorpion King, which was terrible, I might actually sit through that again instead of sitting through this. Tom Cruise just doesn't do it for me. He's in another spy movie too, where he's playing yet another spy, and like everybody was like, Tom Cruise, oh, he's amazing in that other Jack Reacher thing. Like, no, he's not. I don't care what they say about the Jack Reacher movies. He's wrong casting for that part. He's too short. The Jack Reacher character is as tall as Hugh Jackman. He's too short and too cocky to play Jack Reacher. I don't care if, ooh, there's badass imagery. I guess John Wick makes a little more sense. Actually, that guy can play Jack Reacher. Yeah, Johnny Depp. He makes more sense. But still, yeah, these spy movies are wearing thin, but the Mummy movie... Yeah, the Marvel, Universal trying to do the monsters as if it was their own Marvel Cinematic Universe isn't going to work. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and things like Russell Crowe. Although Russell Crowe would have made more sense as the Tom Cruise character. And Tom Cruise would have made more sense as Jekyll and Hyde, actually. Because Russell Crowe tends to be aggravated at everything anyway. So why he wasn't convincing was because he always is angry, even when he's seething. So it's like, you can't play somebody nice. Tom Cruise can pull that off. I think they should have switched roles. And yeah, the blonde girl and the whole idea that the bad guy is basically, or the bad guy chick is basically, and there's a corpse guy and there's flashbacks and she possesses him or his mind or something, and it's like, how? They don't explain that. And then her motivation is basically, I'm gonna give you powers so that I can be with you for all eternity. It's like, why? It's like, okay, I'm gonna make the hero capable of defeating me. Yeah, that's a good idea. It's like the Battlefield Earth ending. Actually kind of mixed in with X-Men Apocalypse, because even that one they're all like, oh, Professor X, I will add my power to you to make you powerful. Your hair will fall out, but you will be more powerful than me and then be able to defeat me. What? Okay. Why did he do that? Same ending, really. Then Dark Phoenix shows up and helps, but it's like, that's one of the things that didn't make any sense about that movie. Or in this one. It's like, yeah, and Apocalypse looked like the blue guy from Guardians of the Galaxy. The blue god guy with the hat. Bluish green guy. Yeah. Not the Gauntlet guy, but the other dude. Yeah. Yeah. He didn't look like the Gauntlet guy. He looked like the other dude that was the father of Nebula and what's her face? Yeah. But in this one, the witch chick looks like the girl from Teen Titans, Raven, but as an Egyptian goddess bad guy. Slaughtered her family so that she could take over. It's like, okay, yeah. Played by a Latin lady apparently. Odd casting. They made her have Vulcan eyebrows too. They were like, I am a Vulcan. No, wait a minute, an Egyptian. The hell am I supposed to be? Oh yeah. Anyways, the Mummy. Yeah, if this movie tanks, there aren't going to be any more.